Pickle? Shumba? What goes on a banana? What kind of toppings are the top, like the best thing to put on a banana? What flavor goes well with it?
Ice cream, chocolate, and whipped cream.
Okay. Shumba?
Honestly, I can kind of just eat bananas on their own. Pause. But yeah, I'd also have them in a sundae of some sort.
Okay, cool. Lizzo kind of thought that the proper topping was coochie flavoring. And she, on a night out, decided to, take some of her workers, her backup dancers and such, for a night out. She kind of led it by being like, hey, we're going to go partying, et cetera, et cetera. We're just going to go have a good time. And then all of a sudden, a good time turned into eating bananas out of sex workers' coochies.
So you're saying Lizzo wasn't exactly upfront with what the dinner was going to be for that night?
Allegedly, she wasn't. She allegedly made it sound like they were going to go just have a good time and party. And apparently the workers felt coerced into it, where they didn't they felt like they didn't have a choice, or there would be repercussions if they said no. And they ended up on the red light district, and one thing leads to another, and all of a sudden they're eating these coochie bananas that I'm guessing are probably halfway in the sex worker and halfway in the dancer's mouth. I don't know how you eat a coochie banana. I've never partaken in a coochie banana.
I think there's 3 things you got to think about. How ripe is the banana? Because that's going to give you firmness. If it's overly ripe, then you probably got to peel it halfway and then put it into the worker, and then you eat it.
See, me, I'm thinking it's already all the way peeled.
What if it's also like a mashed pudding situation where they just push the whole banana in and then you eat it out like a yogurt cup or something?
Oh my, that's rather graphic.
And if it is forced, if you really feel like you're going to lose your job unless you eat this banana pudding.
Are you eating it with enthusiasm? Is that what you're getting at?
If my job's on the line, I guess it depends on how much they're getting paid.
Shumba, would you like to lay out the night of the coochie banana
incident?
Incident? Yeah, that's a good word for it. Incident. Yeah, the coochie banana incident.
Inside it.
Now, all of this is alleged. Nothing has actually come out as fact or anything like that. This is relatively new. But apparently they were doing some sort of tour over there in the EU. And while they were in Amsterdam, Lizzo, who talked about this on some sort of radio show, she said,
it's Amsterdam, so we partied.
Well, I saw what you did yesterday because I follow you on Instagram. And I saw on the Insta stories you were on the red light district.
Yeah, we were.
You were to the Casa Rosso.
Oh my God, how do you know that?
Yeah, because I lived for 4 years on the red light district, in the middle of the red light district. So I recognize a lot of places. And I saw that you saw a live sex show. Please tell me everything about the sex show.
It was people fucking, man. It was crazy. They were just doing it, but you know what? It was beautiful.
Yeah.
I went to the one show where it was a couple, and they were passionately making love.
But really passionate?
It was really. They kissed. They kissed after. I'm not gonna say what she did, but I'm trying to go to the show where you eat the banana out the pussy. Which one is that?
This is the banana bar.
That's the banana bar?
Yeah, you
and
wear
they have
the
the banana
bar.
in the coochie?
And ping pong balls.
And you have to go.
Yes. And
That's what I want to do.
Then you have to eat it.
I need my potassium, if you know what I'm saying. My potassium.
It's one thing if people actually want to go to these shows and have fun and everything, to each their own, whatever have you. But the way she was doing this was she was telling her backup dancers that they were going to some after party or something like that. And then all of a sudden, boom, they pop up and it's this sex show that they have to go on. And Lizzo in the past has been known for firing employees for small things. One of the things was she fired another assistant because she was taking notes on a meeting that they were in, but she was recording that on a phone. And even though there was nothing actually said in that meeting that was necessarily bad, the fact of recording the meeting itself was enough to get her fired. So in this scenario, they're being popped up at this, sex show. And like you guys said, they're eating bananas out of places that shouldn't be holding bananas, in my opinion. But now they're being told that, you have to partake, you have to do this. And essentially knowing that information from the past, they're being pressured, like Pickle was saying, that if you don't do this, you probably will lose your job.
Wasn't there something as well about some body shaming, which audience you could do with that as you please, as to if Lizzo should really be body shaming or not? I'm not going to say anything.
It is alleged that she was weight shaming her backup dancers as well, which is weird for Lizzo specifically because she touts herself as a queen for plus-sized women. Her doing this to her backup dancers, whether it was saying that they need to lose weight or gain weight, we have no idea, or maybe just the state of the weight that they're in. it's kind of crazy in my mind.
That's crazy, though, because I think Lizzo has a great body.
At the end of the day, she is an icon for plus-size women, so for her to be a plus-size woman and denigrating plus-size women that are employed with her.
Is she a plus-size woman?
Regardless if she's a plus-size model or not, it is alleged that she's done these things and damages are being sought out by two of the backup dancers. They're looking for punitive and special damages as well as attorney's fees. And they're suing Big Girl Big Touring and a...
That's an interesting name.
The plaintiff's attorney said in a statement that the stunning nature of how Lizzo and her management team treated their performers seems to go against everything Lizzo stands for publicly, while privately she weight shames her dancers and demeans them in ways that are not only illegal, but absolutely demoralizing. And I kind of agree.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see as things develop. Are you guys eating the coochie banana? Do you want to keep the job? Does Lizzo sound like a good boss? Do you think that they're going to win the lawsuit and Lizzo's going to have to pay out? Let us know down in the comments below. All right, guys, so I have a question for the both of you. Would you be willing to perform a Haitian voodoo ritual to get anything? Which involves sacrificing a goat, may I add.
This is just my personal take on it. I don't like to perform anything like that, just on the off chance that it will bring something into the real world or just affect me in a way that is negative. Because they say things like that they're taboo for a reason, because they can either hurt you or harm you, and you don't really know what the result is going to be. So I'm a big no on that one.
Shumba?
Counter question, can I eat the goat?
I don't know if that affects the ritual, to be honest with you.
That's a no from me, dog.
Well, unfortunately for Thug, one of his associates was arrested for a murder, but when they went to arrest him, he was in the middle of a goat sacrifice ritual, and it just has bad optics, and the lawyer is kind of fighting to get that information kind of taken out because it'll give a bad look to a jury probably if they find out this man is sacrificing goats as well. It kind of doesn't portray the most sane type of person. I do believe Shumba had a little bit of info for us as far as the goat ritual goes.
They're saying that he was arrested while in the midst of a religious ceremony which involved a supposed sacrifice of goats. Allegedly, worshippers wear all white and sacrifice goats in an effort to bring forth Loa, which help to run the universe and can grant blessings. Now, I did a little digging into this to try to figure out what kind of ritual it was, and apparently it's a Haitian voodoo ritual, and they do these sacrifices because Loa, and don't come after me if you know about these rituals for real. I'm not about it. But from what I found, Loa isn't like a god. It is a deity that is above man, but below gods. And through these rituals, they can get blessings either through their endeavors, whether it's business or whatever have you, but other blessings such as healings, etc., etc. A little excerpt here says, they are said to have been created by Bondi to help humans survive the harsh conditions of life on Earth and assist them in their daily lives. They exist in nature, examples, mountains, bodies of water, trees, and are connected to both human activities, examples, farming, healing, and various forces of nature, including thunder, rain, and clouds. So why they were doing these rituals? This is me assuming here, maybe wanting, a blessing for this case that they're going through, or maybe the charges that the guy knew he was facing. But that's what we have right now.
Didn't seem to work that well if you're arrested mid-ritual. But
that's because he didn't finish.
Yeah, hey, maybe he could get someone else to perform the ritual. Free Thugger.
Well, I can also see why the lawyer would want to have this removed. Because to the general population, anything involving sacrifice or blood is going to denote evil. It's going to give the connotation of evil, and that's going to be a predisposition that jurors may have going into the trial. Whereas from reading this, it appears that the sacrifice is in order to bring something about into the world, not for evil, but either help or change.
Avoiding a murder is kind of evil, but it's not here nor there.
But the ritual itself does not necessarily denote an evil objective. It's simply a way to ask for something, and it's an ancient tradition. So taking something that's cultural and ancient and then attributing it to evil, I think they're just trying to keep the notion or the predisposition that this man is evil from the jurors before they go into trial. And I can see why the lawyer would want to do that. Because you can find these same rituals in other cultures, several cultures, going all the way back to the beginning of human history.
And in the cultural zeitgeist that for America, honestly, most of the time you see goats being sacrificed is in like horror films, you know? So those optics could be really bad for any kind of case that they might be facing.
Going back to what you said earlier, can you eat the goat? That's actually part of, if you look a little bit deeper into it, you bury the meat after you've sacrificed the goat so that the meat, the life is transferred to the loa in order to appease them, in order to get your wish granted. You can't eat the meat. It's a sacrifice in order to gain something. It's like alchemy, you know, equivalent exchange.
Well, I mean, if a goat has to take one for the team to free Thug, I'm all for it, honestly.
What if it was people that had to be put down on the line to free Thug? How do you feel then?
People?
Yeah. What if a
What
person?
the people do?
No, I'm saying what if a goat grants you certain wishes, but a person grants you bigger wishes?
Doesn't say anything about that in the case, so irrelevant. If we got to kill a goat to free Thug, I guess we're killing the goat. You know, shame they didn't get to finish the ritual. I'm sure Thug has someone else on payroll that'll finish the ritual for him. So, you know, we'll kind of just see where that goes. But as far as that goes, I think Thug is cooked. Kind of think this guy is cooked too. I mean, he probably wasn't the most sane of people, being that they caught him in the middle of a goat sacrifice. How often is this an occurrence if the police catch you while arresting you in the middle of a goat ritual?
I'm gonna guess it's not a very infrequent thing at that point.
It's definitely given some Holly Weird vibes for sure.
I mean, maybe they got there and there was just a pile of goats in the backyard. You don't know. Maybe.
With that being said, do you guys think that this guy's crazy for sacrificing goats? Would you sacrifice a goat? Do you think sacrificing a goat would free young Thug? Let us know down in the comments below. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. I'm Rugburn.
And I'm Pickled Landon.
And this is Tombstone Tourist.